Hello, I'm Zombie Mike. I am from a group of coalitions called From the Ashes, and we have a challenge to where we pick a featured card, build a deck around it, and we like to tailor it towards people who are new to the game that may have limited resources. So we'll use five commons or uncommons, and then a mixture of mythics and rares. And we can use lower slots if we want to. So let's go ahead and create a deck for this challenge. We'll start out with, of course, our featured card, which should be Cytoplast Rootkin. He is a mutant, and he's exclusive. You get him from another event. When you cast this creature, all of your buffed creatures get 1/1, and when a non-token creature you controls, it gets 1/1. So let's build a deck themed around their strengths. They're mono green, so I would think for new players, the Nissa that we get straight when we join the game would be good. And as far as like mythics go, there are a couple that would work. So we also want to limit this challenge to these sets. And when would we want to use this card? Let's actually make this useful. And if you can upgrade it with better cards as you accumulate more cards, that'd be great. But there is an event. It is called Ravnica at War, Eternity. And there's a blue-green node there that restricts us to blue and green. So this card would work for that. Not only that, it's a mutant, and one of the objectives is cast 4 or more creatures of elf, wizard, mutant, or lizard. Or Spock, I don't know. So elf, lizard, mutant, wizard, and also cast 4 or more cards with proliferate during a fight. So if we could build a deck that that works for all of those, that'd be perfect. Alright, so we're going to be limited a lot by proliferate, so let's see. Proliferate is the way it's spelled. And we have an elf here with proliferate, so that would help us summon elves and proliferate, 2 objectives in 1 card. It's also low cost, so that'd be great. Evolution Sage. Whenever a land enters, we can proliferate, so casting him, also an elf. Perfect card for this idea. Courage in Crisis, it buffs, and buffing creatures is kind of the theme for our Cytoplast card. But this is a very expensive card, so let's not use this unless we have to. So Evolution Sage has one of our land support enters, so let's go ahead and grab a land support now. And since we're using Nissa, I think like a Selesnya Guildgate, or she likes red, she likes green and white. So if you wanted to go red and green, that would also work. Alright, so he should go and grab that. For other supports, that would be good, just anything that converts colors to green. Because we have proliferate, I want to see what vanguards we have available. There are a few that you may have just from completing the single player story. I picked up this exclusive when it was available. It's only exclusive because of the card art, but at the beginning of the turn you can turn 2 gems for each buffed creature. So because our Cytoplast buffs creature, this is a great card. Alright, I think that's going to limit us pretty well to 2 rares chosen so far. So let's think about how we're going to grab more mana. The only weakness here with this card is it removes 1, and that's the only option it gets. So you really do need to proliferate if you're going to increase its shield. And it's going to get matched a lot. So it's not going to be our only source, along with this guild gate of mana. And there's a nice combination of rare spells that can get us a ton of mana. And you can shoot to get these cards. You can craft these. What they'll do is when this comes in, it will convert 5 gems to green after you match the gem that it creates. And also, in addition to that, if there are 8 or more green gems, it's going to convert 5 to green right off the bat. So that's very powerful. And then you can go and grab the first 3 spells, which would include that, from your graveyard to your hand. And if there's 6 or more gems of each color, then those cards gain 5 mana. So if that condition happens to be met and you've got some of these in your graveyard, you're going to start a pretty good loop and not only fill up your mana, but also your planeswalker abilities. Okay, so we still have a little bit of room here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's start thinking about other spells that are not rare that we can add to also gain us some mana. Here's a good one. Convert 6 to green and then fetch the next gate. So this has synergy with our guild gate that we chose, which also is our land. So that's good synergy there. And we have room for 2 more cards. Let's start thinking about what mythics would go well in this deck. Of course, this will vary depending on what's available to you. You know what? Let's just take out these. So this looks like an interesting card. But I like this better if you have it. So let's go ahead and choose that. But let's think about what other mythics you may have available early. Experimental Crash would be good. And it grows and buffs too. So buffing creatures seems to be a theme of the deck. But this buffs as well. If you don't have this, then you probably want to choose this one here instead. Alright, and we have room for 1 more card. And what it should be, I'm not sure. What are we missing? Removal. Okay, and we have room for 1 more common or uncommon. And we do need to cast elves, so let's see what common and uncommon elves we have that has removal. Look at something cheap. There we go. Right off the bat. Okay, so this looks like a pretty good deck for this event and this challenge. Let's give it a shot. Alright, so I have a level 50 Nissa, and I'm going against a level 60 Sarkhan. That's probably going to be a really tough fight. But with our handicaps of common and uncommon, it would be amazing if we won this. You wouldn't be in the same, same setup as me with the, I don't know if we joined Platinums when it comes to training grounds. But this is probably going to be a tough fight, but it'll be good to see how the deck works. Alright. We don't have any green, but we do have red available. And it's nice to use her card draw and mana conversion abilities. Alright, he should have come out first, so let's buff him. Alright, so now we have 2 buffed creatures. She buffed him. He wouldn't have buffed himself, but she got buffed by him. And this will be good for our support. Because it works off of buffed creatures. For each buffed creature you get, it converts to. Alright, earlier I was talking about this ability. And we'll want to save her for when we need more removal. We could use him to buff a creature, but we really want to keep this shield count up, and I'm also going to protect him by removing the green around that. This deck would be very weak against flying creatures. Can't pass that up. Can't really remove anything around here. I don't quite need this yet, but I want to save it, so let's do this. It's probably going to get matched anyway. Yep. That's unfortunate. Okay. A little bit more removal. See, if we would have matched this earlier, it would be gone now. I have a copy of our card. Okay. We can convert 20 to green, which would be a horrible idea. And we're not going to get lethal from dropping 5 on this guy. We do need cards, so... Although it's tempting to give 5/5 to everybody. Let's go this route instead. It's decisions like that that make the game interesting. Alright, we're getting more towards the end. Let's start trying to end this. Oh, does our 5/5 stay? It's really powerful. Maybe if we would have cast that last round. And there we have it. So our little theme deck against a level 60 Sarkhan, with me using at least 5 uncommon and common cards, you can see our theme deck actually pretty effective. So if you'd like to know more about From the Ashes, our group of coalitions, we have Goblin Pile, which is the top #1 coalition in the game, and you can work your way up to it, and we just track progress, place you in the coalitions that are in our group, where you will be most effective and best utilized with the points that you continue to gain. So yeah, check that out in the description. We'd love to have more people. It requires Slack, which is a lot like Discord, but that's the program we use to communicate with each other, and we're currently enjoying going through a guild event this weekend. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope that you find this deck useful the next time that the Ravnica at War Eternity comes around. Thanks.